3 a.m. Your house is silent. And then, something in the dark begins to run. It's not a burglar. It's not a nightmare. It's your cat. And it's running a program that is 10,000 years old. And tonight, we're going to show you exactly what that program is. Welcome to Feline Fluent. Today, we're decoding what ethologists call frenetic random activity periods, or FRAPs. You know them as the zoomies, the 3 a.m. tornado, the unexplained wall run. This is not a quirk. This is not hyperactivity. This is the oldest predator program on Earth firing in real time. By the end of this video, you will understand exactly why it happens and how to work with it. If you live with a cat, you know this. Without warning, a completely calm animal becomes a blur. They sprint, leap, skid, reverse, then stop, as if nothing happened. Cat owners have named it the zoomies. Researchers call it FRAPs, frenetic random activity periods. They appear in virtually every domestic cat, regardless of breed, age, or temperament. Which means this isn't individual weirdness. This is a species-wide program. Here's the first thing that stops the random narrative cold. FRAPs are not evenly distributed across the day. They cluster at dusk and in the hours before dawn. Those are not arbitrary times. They are the two crepuscular windows, the exact low-light periods when a small felid's prey is most active and most exposed. Your cat is not losing its mind at 3 a.m. Your cat is on schedule, and understanding that schedule changes everything. To understand the midnight storm, you need to meet its architect. Felis libica, the North African wildcat, is the direct ancestor of every domestic cat alive today. It is a small, solitary hunter, roughly the size of your cat. And its prey, small rodents and birds, are most active at dusk and just before dawn. So Felis libica evolved its entire energy architecture around two narrow windows of maximum prey exposure. Hunt at dusk, sleep, hunt again before dawn. That is the program. This isn't folklore. It's been documented across multiple ethological studies. Domestic cats show what researchers call a bimodal activity pattern, two distinct peaks of physical arousal in a 24-hour cycle. Those peaks align precisely with the ancestral crepuscular hunting windows. The mechanism is neurological. Light-sensitive cells in the retina signal the suprachiasmatic nucleus, the brain's internal clock, as light levels shift. That signal releases a cascade of neurochemicals that prime the motor system for explosive movement. Your cat's brain is doing exactly what 10,000 years of evolution designed it to do. Watch a FRAP up close, and the hunting posture is impossible to miss. Pupils blow to maximum aperture, maximizing light capture for low-light prey tracking. Haunches drop into a launch position. The tail kinks at the base, a motor artifact of the hunt sequence being loaded. Inside the brain, the SCN has already fired the cascade. The motor cortex is primed. The cat is not choosing to run. The program is already executing. What you're watching is not chaos, it's a precision launch sequence, with nothing to hunt. The evidence makes the prey quota link explicit. Cats that received no structured, interactive play sessions during the day showed significantly more intense and more frequent FRAPs at night. The relationship is almost mathematical. Unmet hunting quota accumulates. A cat that has not executed a hunt or a close simulation of one in several hours is building discharge pressure. When the crepuscular window opens and the neurological cascade fires, that pressure releases all at once. The 3 a.m. stampede is the bill coming due. You already know what this looks like. It's the reason you've woken up at 3 a.m. to something thundering across your chest. It's the reason there's a dent in your drywall at exactly cat height. Surveys consistently show that sleep disruption caused by cats is one of the most commonly reported friction points in cat ownership. Not aggression, not illness, not poor training. Just a predator on a schedule that doesn't match your calendar. Understanding that distinction is the first step to solving it. The veterinary behavioral community is clear on this. The recommended intervention is not to stop the frap. You cannot stop the frap. The neurological cascade will fire. The crepuscular window will open. The intervention is to preempt the discharge. A structured, interactive play session that mimics the full hunt sequence: stalk, chase, pounce, catch, delivered in the hour before the cat's peak window. This discharges the accumulated hunting quota before the frap can build to its explosive form. You're not training the behavior out, you're completing the circuit. Here is what the protocol looks like in practice. 60 to 90 minutes before your own bedtime, a wand toy or feather lure session lasting 10 to 15 minutes. The session must follow the full predatory sequence: stalking, approach, active chase, pounce, and catch. Do not end the session abruptly. Wind down gradually. Slower movements, easier catches, mimicking the end of a successful hunt. Follow with a small protein-based meal. Post-hunt feeding triggers the feline rest response. The cat's neurochemistry reads: hunt complete, energy replaced, threat cycle closed. Sleep follows. Cat owners who implement the pre-sleep hunt protocol consistently report the same result. The midnight stampedes don't disappear immediately. The cat's internal clock needs a few nights to recalibrate. But within a week, the FRAP energy shifts. It discharges in the living room at 9 p.m. instead of the bedroom at 3 a.m. Nothing about the cat changed. The crepuscular clock is still running. You simply gave it a target before it had to invent one. That's the difference between a prey relationship and a chaos event. Zoom out from your living room, and this pattern is everywhere. Crepuscular activity peaks appear in the ocelot, the serval, the sand cat, virtually every small felid species on Earth. The domestic cat did not inherit a slightly modified version of this. It inherited the exact same clock. 10,000 years of domestication did not move the hands 1 minute. Which means every time your cat runs that midnight program, it is expressing something universal. A precision predator architecture shared across continents and millions of years. That is not a behavior problem. That is an inheritance. Here is the verdict. The midnight storm is not aggression, not hyperactivity, not a sign that something is wrong. It is a 10,000-year-old hunting schedule executing in a space with no prey. Your cat is not broken. Your cat is extraordinarily intact. The question was never, why does my cat do this? The question was always, when did they last get to hunt? Answer that, and the storm finds its shore. Your homework is simple. Tonight, 60 to 90 minutes before you sleep, wand toy, full hunt sequence, protein meal. End the session slowly. Do it for 5 nights and report back in the comments. Tell us when the midnight storm moved. If you want to keep decoding what your cat is actually saying, subscribe. There is a lot more signal in there. Now, you're fluent. See you next time.